How many companies with more than 100 employees simply followed what they had been told? That President Biden had issued an executive order requiring them to institute a vaccine mandate. They had seen in the news that the president had announced sweeping mandates requiring them to either vaccinate their employees or require weekly testing. Most of these corporations complied. However, not only did President Biden have absolutely no legal authority to issue such a mandate, I don't believe he actually signed an executive order to that effect. Such has been the brainwashing of the American people that thousands submitted to an illegal mandate that was never actually made, only announced. Those few Americans who pointed out that such a mandate was a blatant violation of the Fifth Amendment's Due Process Clause were ridiculed, threatened, fired, and eventually vindicated. All because the majority of Americans don't know that our president is not a king. What most Americans seem to forget is that the federal government is not able to enforce all of their laws, rules, or their regulations. They are dependent on the state and local governments to do much of the enforcement for them, but this is a good thing. The federal government has no legal authority to order states and local officials to enforce their laws. This was confirmed by the Supreme Court in the case Prince versus United States. The Brady Act's interim provision commanding CLEOs, or chief law enforcement officers, to conduct background checks is unconstitutional. Now, once the state and local enforcement agencies realize they are not legally bound to enforce federal law, they can learn to stand up and say no. They can look at these illegal executive orders and just say no. They can look at the innumerable unconstitutional regulations and say no. They can even go so far as charging and arresting any federal agent who breaks the law, including the Constitution of the United States, for crimes committed within their jurisdiction. What a wonderful thing knowledge can be.